David was a young man who had 7 older brothers. David's country was at war with some people from the country of Philistia. The 3 oldest brothers followed their king to war, and David was sent home to care for his father's sheep at Bethlehem. Now there was one man in the army from Philistia of whom everyone was afraid. He was absolutely huge. He was about 9.5 feet or 2.9 meters tall. I have never seen anyone that tall. Have you? Now, I have seen some tall basket players 7 feet, like 2.1 meters tall, but Goliath was more than 2 feet taller than that. Not only was he big, but he was well protected. He had heavy breast protectors on his body and helmet on his head. His spear was so heavy an ordinary man could not carry it. This giant's name was Goliath, and he said, "Send a man out to fight me. If you have someone who can fight me and kill me, we will not need to continue the war. We will be your servant. If I kill him, the war will be over, and you will be our servant." Now the Israelites were God's people. They should not have been afraid of Goliath and the Philistines, but they were scared. All the soldiers were afraid. Even David's 3 brothers were afraid. No one wanted to go and fight Goliath. That evening, Goliath again came out in all his armor and made the same speech, but no one wanted to fight him. The next morning, he came out again and he made the same speech, but no one agreed to fight him. Each morning and evening for more than a month, the 2 armies looked at each other across a big valley. Every morning and evening, Goliath came out with soldiers carrying a shield before him. Every day, the Israelites hoped someone would agree to fight Goliath, but no one did. David's father knew the food supply for the army might be low. "David," he called, "I want you to go out to the army camp and take some food for your 3 brothers. Here is some corn and 10 loaves of bread for your brothers and some cheese for their commander. Go and see how your brothers are." David was probably excited about going to see how the war was going. He got up early in the next morning and went to the army camp. The army was lining up with a great shout when David arrived. Maybe they would fight today. David ran quickly to talk with his brother. But wait, what was happening? As David talked to his brother, the giant Goliath came out again and gave his daily speech. David heard him say, "Why have you come out to the battle with us? Choose a man to come out and fight me." David looked around expectantly to see who would go and fight Goliath. Surely God would send someone to win this battle for his people. As David watched, no man came forward to fight. Instead, they were all running back. "Did you see that man?" they said. "He's defying us. Someone should fight him. The king says he will make the man rich who will fight him. He will even give his daughter to marry the person who can kill Goliath." David thought it was a shame no soldiers would fight Goliath. "Did you hear what he said? Don't you know you are the army of the living God? How can you let him threaten you?" David's brother heard this, and I think they were embarrassed that they were afraid to fight. Eliab, the oldest, was angry with David and scolded him. "Why did you come here anyway, David? Did you just go off and leave the sheep for which you were responsible? You are proud and haughty. You just wanted to come and see the battle." David knew this was not true, but he answered, "What have I done? Isn't there something here that needs to be done?" Then David asked again what would be done. He could hardly believe no one would fight Goliath. Finally, the king heard that David was there and sent for him. When David came in, he boldly said to the king, "Tell the people not to worry. I will go fight with this Philistine." The king said, "But you are young and untrained for battle. He's been a man of war from his youth." Then David told how God had already helped him kill a lion and a bear. "I can do the same to this ungodly Philistine, because it is God's army that he is defying. The Lord delivered me out of the paw of a lion and out of the paw of the bear. He will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine." King Saul said, "Go, and the Lord be with thee." Then King Saul gave David the king's own armor and helmet. David put on the armor, but he was uncomfortable. He had never before worn armor. "I cannot go with this." David instead took his shepherd's staff and his sling. He chose 5 smooth stones out of the brook and went to face Goliath. Here came Goliath with a man before him carrying Goliath's shield. Here came David. David looked like a child to Goliath. He cursed David, saying, "What do you think I am? A dog that you will hit with the stick?" David was not worried. "You come to me with a sword, a spear, and a shield," he said, "but I come to you in the name of the Lord. This day will the Lord deliver you into my hand." David ran toward Goliath. Quickly he put a stone in his sling and drew back his arm. Zing! Went the stone, right to the forehead of the giant. David had won with God's help. The Israelites had been saved by their God. He had not used an army, but a boy with a sling and a stone.